Wake up, Houston, wake up. You're tuned in to Child's Place. I'm your host, Charlie T, and we're going right now. Basically, I want to get back on the topic of the topic that we had once before, and it basically was the coronavirus and what your employer is not going to do. Last topic we was talking about was pretty much saying that a lot of people out here they got laid off, or their jobs are not paying them for the time that they have mandated a self quarantine for the employees. So we were talking about that, and I had one lady. I gave her my experience, my testimony on how the company was treating me, and she said that maybe I should have recorded the conversation and yeah, basically record the conversation and things of that nature. Now the thing with that is this: when I called, I didn't like plan. I mean, when you call someone, you're not just gonna call and say, "Oh, let me set the record button." You calling your employer, you thinking, hey, you don't got to go through the necessary things. But at that time, so I couldn't to answer that comment. I couldn't record because I didn't set it up for that. So therefore, but I have a lot of things that I've communicated with my manager, my supervisor, through text. But my thing is this: a lot of people with the employer and this coronavirus thing, like I say, this gonna blow over. I mean, I've been watching the news. They finna send out a stimulus package. That's kind of sketchy and leery to me too, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, but the economy is gonna get back again. It's gonna thrive once again. So I don't want my black people, my black kings and queens, to think that, oh, this is it. Even though we're all making it, even though we're survivors by nature, because this is what we do. But the thing with the coronavirus and what your employer is not going to do, and I think what's going to happen is this: once you go back to your job, because I go back to my job pretty soon, uh, Friday of this week. Once I go back, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a clause. They already have a clause, as you know, if you've been watching the news, that Houston is at a stay home, work safe order. And basically that says, if you don't need to go out for the essentials, stay home. Only go to jobs that are essential. So my company is an essential job that's going to remain and stay open. But what my company is doing, they're trying to move a lot of people from one shift to another shift to spread out. So if people are contaminated, now this is my thinking on this. This is just my thinking, my opinion. Now, if I go back, now I done did my 14 days. It's coming up to my 14 days. I go back. I go back into the workplace. Now, they're saying on the news, this is what the news saying, the media saying that you won't find the virus in your system until 14 days. So now, not only have you sent me home for 14 days, just say that I have it. 14-day, bam, it's in my system. I'm going back to work. I'm touching things. I'm breathing the same air that somebody else breathing. They could be back, and it may be in them. Then what? You're going to send me back home with no pay again because I'm sick. And I think that's the plan on a lot of companies. They want you to do the 14-day quarantine. We had superstars that said, hey, I done everything. I stayed away. I did this. I was covered up. I had my gloves. I had a mask on. I don't know how I contracted. But then they had to remember the place that they've been to. So you don't know where you can contract it at. I'm outside my home right now, but I'm at home. It's airborne. So it can be in the air as I'm speaking to you right now. You don't know who you contract or how it got to you. But my thing is this with the employer. So you're going to bring me back into another atmosphere of some more people. There's a lot of people are starting to come back to that company that has been shut down for 14 days. And they may not tell you that they got the symptoms. Cause people lie. Trust me, black people lie. They lie. They'll lie and say, "Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it." They're not gonna take the precautions. They're not gonna wash their hands. They're not gonna even cover their mouth when they cough. They're gonna cough in whatever surgical mask the company gonna provide you with that you gotta keep up with at all times. They're gonna cough in that. And then you're gonna have some that's gonna be disobedient to where they ain't gonna have it on. Do you gotta have it on during your lunch breaks? Do you gotta have it on when you pull up in the premises? They're taking temperatures. You gotta sign a health form when you get in and when you come out. This is a serious event, but the employer really don't care about the employee. Cause if you do contract it, somebody else gets sick, they're not gonna take care of that person. If somebody gets sick, then bam, you gotta shut the whole plant down because you sent them home 14 days. So when I get back, a lot of people that did their 14 days, they may have symptoms, but you're not gonna show. Just like they lied and said about they didn't go to the rodeo. These people are still working. When they shut that rodeo down, these people still are at their jobs right now working their shift like nothing happened. A lot of cases have been caught from people not traveling versus people that been traveling. And that's the shame that I don't understand. But hey, they mandated me to stay here, do these 14 days, and I'm going to comply. I had people say, "Man, you going back Friday? I wouldn't go to work. Go back Monday." I'm saying, "No, cause my scheduled day to return is March the 27th. So I'm gonna go back and be obedient." A lot of people gonna ask questions. Hey, where you been? Things of that nature. Well, you know what epidemic is going on. But then you gotta watch these companies. Cause they may slick up cause they laying off. They may shoot up and say, "You know what, we don't really need you." You gotta think, the work that I do, someone had to be doing it. So I've been gone from that company for 3 weeks because I was on vacation for 1 week. And then these 2 weeks that I'm doing now. So who been doing the job? So now that department is almost fully staffed until I get back. They can up and decide, like I said, I live in Texas. They can up and decide and say, we don't need you. We don't need you. They already let one man go at that job. But they had something on them. Who to say they don't have nothing on me? To say, "You know what, we don't need you." Or give me the third degree. They always like to give black people extra. They'll do extra. They may want to take my temperature every 2 hours versus people coming in getting their temperature done once in the morning and one leaving. They may want to take my. I'm just saying, black people. This stuff happen at jobs. So, but during this crisis of the corona, your employer, I'm just going to repeat, your employer does not care about you, black person, black woman, black man. They don't care. They don't care. They're going to keep pushing our product. That's all they care about. They trying to meet deadlines, which ain't no deadline. Because they done shut down China. Ain't nothing coming in. And we can't send nothing out. So ain't no deadline. But they're going to keep working regardless. So, but I had said something earlier. I'm trying to remember and think. What I said earlier. But anyway, it'll come back to me. But my thing is, I just want to let my people know, let everybody know what's going on here in the world. Just pay attention to the news. Pay attention to your surroundings. Like I said, if you are being quarantined, be safe. Wash your hands. Make you a bottle of bleach and some water. Wipe down your counters. Sanitize. Keep hand sanitizer only if possible. Try to go out frequently. Unless you got to go to the grocery store, get drugs. Try to stay in the confine of your house. because after them 14 days of quarantine, this stuff gonna pop off even more, and then they gonna do you the same way like they do me. They may do me the same way, but like I said, you don't know how you contract it unless you go get tested. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that. And I'm gonna say this: support local businesses instead of big businesses. And I want to say this too: black people, black people, black people, black people. When you go and support other black businesses, make sure whatever service that you're asking for, make sure that you can pay them. And the reason I say this because a lot of people right now, especially black people, so I'm gonna say some of black people. I ain't gonna say all black people, but some black people, they want stuff on credit now. Just because they're not working or ain't no money coming in, they still want stuff on credit. They want haircuts on credit. They want you to fix their car on credit. How do you have your own business, ask someone to work on your vehicle and then not pay them? Say, well, I give it to you on this day. Then you don't even have the audacity to communicate and say, hey man, I got 5 or I got 10 to give you. I pay you the rest on such and such day. Why does black people always want a discount or a hand-me-down on everything? How do you, as a black business, operate? Put a comment in there. How would you handle that? I've been done like that in the past, and I kind of stopped doing my little side work, my side hustle. I kind of stopped because I was too friendly. Number one, and I worked on these vehicles. I'm also a mechanic by trade. I'm also an auto mechanic by trade. And my prices, they're very reasonable. They're very cheap. A lot of people say they're very cheap. I don't try to hit you upside the head like the dealers. I don't try to do none of that. I try to be fair. You know, if you go buy the part, I put it on. I fix your car. And you good. You ain't spend a whole lot. But my thing is this: how do you have someone, myself, come out work on your vehicle and not pay them? It's been 3 weeks. I worked on a client's vehicle and ain't got paid. I haven't got a phone call. Ain't nobody text me. Ain't nobody shoot nothing on Facebook saying, hey, this what's going on, or hey, I'm going through this. And if they watching right now, I'm not pointing at you. I'm not saying you, because I had this done in the past. I did so much work on people's cars that as a black auto mechanic, they feel like, oh, that's too high, or the white man ain't gonna charge them that high. I tell you what, the work that I did for that amount, you go to a dealership, you go to a mechanic shop, they'll charge you more than that, and you know what? You'll pay them. You will pay them. You will pay them. With no hesitation. You're not going to argue about it, but you will pay them. So when you do a black business that does the same service, you won't pay them. You will not pay them. You will want to swindle. You'll make an excuse. But over in that white company, you pull your car into that company. You get something made from that company. You go into their stores, you'll pay them. But if I'm selling a shirt to you, you don't want to pay me. You want the shirt right now, but you don't want to pay me right now. You want the shirt right now. You want the service done right now, but you don't want to pay me right now. I have a problem with that. And especially the black people that own black businesses that do business themselves. If you own a business, you wouldn't want your client to pay you on a later date, am I right? You want your money now. You want to get paid now. When you go to a job, yeah, you may get paid every week or every 2 weeks. But at the end of the week, you expect a check because you did a service to that company, to your employer. and they'll give you a check. You expect that. So why is it that, and another thing, why is that black people, they say we don't have tact, or we need to have tact in things that we do, our actions and things of that nature. But then we got some black people that want to be white. Yes, I said it. You got black people that want to be white. But then, okay, if you want to be white, I'm gonna go back to the business. A white person business don't operate like your business. If I give you a service, like I said, you'll pay them, but you don't want to pay me. Why? Because I'm not white, or why? Why? Because I'm a black business versus a white business, but I do the same service at a lower rate. I feel that's not fair. And I no, not that I feel it's not fair. It's not fair at all. I took time, money out of my day to render you a service, to make your case, to make your shirts, to do all this, to come in and do plumbing work, electrical work. Not saying that I do all these things, but I'm just saying on other businesses that does this, give you a price, quote you a good price. I ain't trying to swindle, I ain't trying to hustle you. But then you tell me, hey, I'll pay you at a later date. What if your company told you that? What if that job told you that? Oh, well, yeah, you did the work for the week, but we'll pay you at another day. Will you still work? Come on, black people, comment. Will you still work that job? Yes, you would. You'll go back next week. You'll work another month, and then they'll tell you again, I can't pay you right now. I'll get you another time. But you'll still keep going. You'll go there for 2 months because they white. But if it was a black job, somebody hired you, and they don't even give you a check, tell you that, you want to tear up the whole shop. You want to tear that business down. You want to criticize them. You want to call them everything but a child of God. We need to stop doing this to each other. We'll never uprise as a people if we continue to tear each other down. If we continue to act like our oppressors. Because people say we ought to have tact. I hear that from a lot of black people. White people don't say that to us. But black people say we ought to act tact, we ought to act better. So who gave you the measuring stick? That's my question. Who gave you the measuring stick on how black people should act? Who gave you the measuring stick on how black people should act? Why must we act like the white man, but then say we need to act better than the white man? But then we want to operate, run a business like the white man, have money like the white man, drive like the white man, have that power status like the white man. But then you tell us black people need to be better than the white man. You're a hypocrite because you confused. Man, just be you. You know right from wrong. Just do right and don't do wrong. That's all the thing I can say. But like I said, this is Chalee place. Like I said, we could talk about anything. Just leave a comment what you want to talk about. We can talk about it. Okay? And go back and check out some of the real you. Go back and check out some of those episodes, those shows. Those episodes are very informational. You may learn some and share. Like I said, like, share this page. Hit that notification button. Like I said, I just want to keep my people posted on what's going on. And whatever you want to talk about, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts in the society, at your job? Because these jobs and black people, man, I need to write a book. These jobs and black people, these jobs treat black people so bad. They just do us so wrong. Especially if you work with a different ethnic group, like I do. They look at us. We work smart. Black people work smart. We don't work hard anymore. We work smart. And we get the job done faster and effectively and efficiently. And they are mad at that. Other races are mad. Hispanics are mad at that. They say we lazy, we shifting. No, we work smart. They work hard and they believe that hard work is right work. That's because the white man showed them that method and they believe working hard is right. They don't even work hard. They like the way we work because we work smart, it's effective and efficient. They steal our ideas. That's why they like hiring us because we gonna figure the problem out and they gonna take the credit. And that's all I have to say. I've been on here for 20 minutes. That's all the time I'm gonna give you. I may come back on tomorrow. I may come back on tomorrow. But if you just hit that notification button, like this page, share it, leave a comment what you want to talk about, and we can talk about it. You're tuned in to Charlie T Place. I want all my black people. I love you. Be safe out here with this coronavirus. Be obedient. Also, when they're dealing with this coronavirus, but don't be stupid. But don't be stupid. And I'm out.